As you can see by the data, there is no disease in known space that propagates as quickly as the Tarisian Rakul plague. Even one individual Rakul can start a pandemic, as we have observed in 81 colonies to date. Until a vaccine can be widely distributed, it is highly doubtful that any civilian colonization effort will yield lasting results. Thank you.
I didn't know Rakuls had gotten so many colonies.
Rakuls have been the story on Taris for 3 centuries. HoloNet archives say a Dr. Thorne developed a Rakul serum vaccine just hours before the bombardment. I've been trying to acquire the serum, but short of putting a blaster to someone's head, that's not going to happen.
If there's a cure out there, you'd be saving millions.
Don't tempt me. There's a pirate camp not far from here. I heard they went after the ruins of Sepanik Memorial Hospital. Sepanik was well preserved. If there's Rakul serum to be found, it'd be there. I asked Commander Viki to step in, but since it wasn't a Republic hospital, the pirates have legal salvage rights.
What is legal and what is right are often different. I'll pay them a visit.
That's extremely brave of you. The Death's Claw pirate gang robs anything that talks and shoots anything that doesn't. I can't say what will be required to get this done, but this plague has infected half a planet's worth of people. So if that serum shows up on my lab table, it'd be unethical to throw it away for any reason. I hope my position is clear.
You picked the wrong medbay to rob, that brain. There's gonna be 200 Death's Claw pirates coming through that door.
Suits me fine.
Wait. When I said you picked the wrong place to rob, I meant, we don't have a lot of money. And it's true. Most of our manpower is laid up with the Rakul plague. If I'm not around to administer the serum treatment, it's gonna be nothing but carapaces and claws in here.
Far more are suffering than just those inside this room. Give it here.
What is this? I'm getting robbed by Jedi? I thought you guys were allergic to credits or something.
You're forcing my hand here.
If you cut off my supply of serum, these guys are gonna turn. You know what that means? I'm gonna have to shoot them all in the head before they try to eat my liver.
Think of this as a lesson in acceptance.
Wait. I remember one other place you could find it. The ruins of Dynamite General. We couldn't get in there. The moment we got near, the Rakuls went berserk. It's one of their breeding grounds or something. You want serum, you get it there, and leave us alone.
I better not come to regret this.
No, the stuff is down there, I swear, on my medical license. The real one.
Welcome back. Let's get those serum samples analyzed and see what we've got. Well, thank the Force for good Tarisian storage technology. I wasn't sure anything would still be viable after 3 centuries. While we wait, is there a cost to these samples I should be aware of? A deal with a pirate crew, perhaps?
There was some unavoidable violence on the way in.
I see. Then if it didn't happen in a plastic beaker, don't tell me about it. Here we are. Fortunately, the plague is so virulent it cultures very rapidly. Bad news. The serum you recovered looks like it was effective 300 years ago, but the Rakul plague has mutated since then. This serum will only provide effective immunity for extraordinarily healthy individuals.
I'm sorry it didn't happen as you hoped.
Oh, I'm not giving up. Now I just need what we call a lucky survivor, whose system has made antibodies to the modern plague. We haven't had a survivor yet, for obvious reasons, but this serum might provide the link we need. If I infected an extraordinary individual protected by the serum, I could collect the antibodies and make an effective vaccine.
If it means we can someday wipe those things from the planet, sign me up.
Well, and I had this whole speech ready. All right. We have a medical droid, CB-084, set up to observe Rakuls in the field. He'll be able to collect the antibodies and slow any potential complications. After I give you the serum, go out there and test it. Let the rat ghouls attack you and see what happens.
You don't have this plague in a needle or something?
If it needs to work in the field, it needs to work in the field. Now, here's your serum injection. I hope the Force is with you, because the science is stretched to the limit.
I see your infection is progressing. Hold still while I take samples for analysis. While I transmit the data to Dr. Cell, there are some questions I should ask. Do you have any of the following symptoms? Dizziness, fever, shortness of breath, and inexhaustible hunger for sentient flesh?
I could go for a Nerf burger. That doesn't count, right?
I will note it on your chart. Ah, here's Dr. Cell.
Good news. Your antibody count is off the charts. I'll start work on a vaccine immediately. You are remarkably brave. Our progress has just jumped forward by years. While you recuperate, I'm going to transmit the usual secrecy agreements. Just use your thumbprint to sign on the sensor.
What do you mean, usual secrecy agreements?
This is standard procedure when the Republic develops biotech with significant earnings potential. We develop the vaccine for Republic soldiers first, and when it's proven, sell it to colonists. Until then, it's under wraps. We don't want the Exchange or the Sith funding some horrible operation with an underground version.
Lives will be lost while this profit is being made.
Tell me something I don't know. Every week we hear another Rakghoul horror story. But every colonist on the planet is going to want this vaccine. How do I tell my superiors we gave up that kind of money?
If you get a sample to the Jedi, I bet they'd find someone to make it fast.
I'll keep that in mind. We'll get this cure out one way or another. Thanks for putting yourself on the line for this. Would have taken years to do it the safe way. I don't know if Taris will ever be what it was, but now, at least, there's hope.
Thank you for coming so fast. I told you the commander would send someone, Gartha.
The commander didn't send him. Don't you recognize a Jedi when you see one?
Then we really are saved. Master Jedi, may I please beg your aid? Have you ever faced a Rakghoul before?
I haven't encountered a creature yet that could stop me.
Really? Because they're the most terrifying things I've ever seen. Dragged down 3/4 of our team before we could do anything. We're a Republic archaeological salvage team. They call us the corpse counters because we're cataloging the bodies from the bombardment.
We were in an old Zerka works pipe this morning when those monsters came out of nowhere. They killed our guards and half a dozen of our team.
They might not be dead. We ran, we didn't see. Could you please just check if anyone survived?
The Republic is risking your lives to gather up some ancient bones?
It's important work.
It's pointless work. People are dying out here, so the Republic can have a list they'll never look at.
These people deserve someone to acknowledge their deaths. Only, most of our team were lost this morning when Rakghouls cut us off. I was hoping that you might go see if anyone is still alive.
I can't commit to this, but I'll see what I can do.
Thank you. It means a lot knowing we're not abandoning them. We were in the Zerka Works pipeline. If you go soon, there may still be someone there.
No, there's no hope for our friends now. But maybe you can make those monsters pay for what they did.
This is for you, Gartha. I saw you ahead of me there, before the pack cut us off. Just want to tell you, you're wrong. The dead do care what happens to them after they die. I'm one of them now. I hear those monsters sniffing for me in the dark, and I know I'll be with the dead before anyone comes for us. And I do care. But I'd rather lie here 1,000 years undiscovered than have some greedy son of a Hutt like you dig me up just to see what I've got that's worth stealing. I hope someone else finds this and makes you pay for your crimes. Like I'm about to pay for mine.
You're back. And I don't see anyone with you. Did you... Are they?
Dead? What did you think? The rat ghouls would buy them flowers and send them home?
Actually, one of them left you a message, Gartha.
A message? Oh, that must be Elizu. They were very close. I'll call the base and tell them what happened.
I'm putting in for a transfer. No job is worth this.
I hear you found a way to make it worth your while.
What did you find? Was Elizu alive? What did that lying coward say about me?
He said you've been stealing from the dead.
So dramatic. It's nothing big. The corpses are still filed. The data is preserved. It was just stuff. Jewelry mostly. No one was going to miss it. You're talking about people who died generations ago.
We'll see if you think prisoners have as few rights as the dead.
Very funny.
The commander's sending a team to retrieve the bodies. Thank you for doing what you could.
Ask your partner what's been happening to the valuables you find.
Oh, please. This is so humiliating. Yes, Elizu and I were stealing some trinkets for the black market. The blasted dead don't cry over it. Why should you?
How could you? You told me those boxes were going to the Republic Archive.
Yeah, so I lied. What, you going to turn me in for that too?
We'll work this out later. We've asked enough of your time. Although, if you have a moment...
You sound like there's something more on your mind.
Okay, this'll sound crazy, but there's more rat ghouls at our grave sites than any of the Republic target zones.
Ah, they're just drawn to the noise and the smell of flesh.
We're not any noisier or fleshier than a platoon of soldiers. I think they're protecting their ancestors.
Ancestors?
See, rat ghouls descend from sentience. It's a disease, one we know little about. But if my theory is correct, it'll be our first insight into how they think. This could be a first step toward taking the planet back from them.
Understanding your enemy is the key to defeating him.
Exactly. Right now, rat ghouls are like something out of a nightmare. We never know when or where they'll attack.
What? You're not sending them to the bombardment site, are you? That place is so thick with rat ghouls you can see them from orbit.
Don't you interfere. We know what you think of the people of Taris. I am right about this. Why else would they be so determined to guard the bombardment sites? If you could get samples from both the rat ghouls and the skeletons at one of the main sites, we could see if they're related.
My specialty, danger and a worthy cause.
Seriously, Sierra, you think you can waste his valuable time on your crackpot theories?
You don't tell me what to do anymore. We know how you feel about the people of Taris. Please don't let Gartha discourage you. This is important. And I don't think there's anyone else on this planet willing to brave those rat ghouls to find out. I'll be waiting to hear what you find. The Republic sent a unit to retrieve our team's bodies. They said to thank you for your help.
Aren't you going to ask if he wasted his time on your pet project?
Why do you always try to ruin everything? Do Sullustan moms not hug their children or something? Did you get to the bombardment site? I don't see a scratch on you.
The Force was with me as usual.
Well, you've certainly got her drooling over you.
Just let me see the samples. I've got a portable scanner that can give us preliminary results right now. That's amazing. There's over a 50% correlation. Genetic drift usually means a much less marked connection, even in a normal population after so many years.
They really are defending their ancestors then.
It means we just made one of the most important discoveries in Tarisian history.
What? Where's the cynical disbelief?
You can't dispute the numbers, Sierra. You're right. This is amazing. If rat ghouls have enough rationality to remember people and places that matter to them, we can't keep treating them like mindless animals.
They've slaughtered millions of people, including your friends.
We need to cancel our operations in these grave sites. We can't keep antagonizing them.
But if we know they come to the defense of certain territories, we can bait them, draw them out, so the Republic can send in troops to exterminate them.
No, if they're sentient, we can't just keep murdering them.
I'll contact the Reconstruction Authority. Do you have an opinion on this?
If there's any way to coexist peacefully with the rat ghouls, we should take it.
I guess it's a virtue to forgive, right? At least this way, maybe we can avoid those kind of attacks in the future. I'll give the Republic your recommendation. Thank you again for all your help. It's amazing, isn't it? To stand at the site of such history. The fall of Taris has always cast a shadow over the Republic. So many millions of our people are descended from the refugees who fled its destruction. And we've carried its effects for far too long.
Are you talking about something specific?
I'm sorry, I'm Dr. Synoda. I have made it my life's work to cure Kolu syndrome, a rare cancer that affects only the descendants of Tarisian refugees. But I have reached the limits of what I can do without the original settlers' medical records. I came here to access the systems in Taris's old general hospital, but I, underestimated the dangers.
It sounds like a worthy cause. Is there a way I can assist?
Master Jedi, I am honored by your interest. Please go to the old hospital. I have the plans here. There are emergency generators that may still work. If you bring them up, we can download the old records. Bring them back, and you could save millions of people from a life of pain and early death.
These are all the medical records I could find.
Thank you. I am sure you have braved many higher-profile dangers, but you will never do anything more important. You have saved countless lives. One of them may well be mine. My ancestors fled Taris 300 years ago, and my family still carries their curse. I thank you.
Mahatachi wanchi ayitiopi. Wafuma gabota donwi wanki wakoba jakaluka. Nagoliji watahumpa mulira watawampa.
What else can you tell me?
Padwana ubikili watabunga toka potoga luarda. Mukutuni ompi Padwana ni bobo chopaduma.
I think I could help you.
Basta hota spie okanin. Mugusa no bi chonki. Fakota chi otto endia.
Now you'll get to see how a Jedi handles things.
Hunga otto. The hawa the punyo is the water. Se grotto ubi ubi. Fui baniaka twipi ta boka tonka. Wana waka.
old reclamation base data is wiped clean.
Chipanchi mapota. Yunali's kitchen hanga wa chit cospa. Ini continga. Cheese kakava coyota. Tu banda bakawonki.
What do you think, Khan?
The foundation of the Taris Chemworks factory cannot be repaired. I expect total collapse within 2 weeks. Once the building falls, the stored chemicals will flood this area. They are highly toxic to humans. I am sorry.
I'll make sure there are speeders on hand, but we can't just pack up and go. Do what you can.
As always, I will pursue an alternative. Master Jedi, forgive my inattentiveness. I am honored by your presence, though I advise you not to stay long.
I appreciate the advice, but I could use a reason.
Many of these ruins are unstable. A nearby structure used for chemical storage is on the verge of crumbling. As I was explaining to my colleague, there is only one way to remove the chemicals before they spill: a burn-off. A well-armed demolitions team could reach the structure and incinerate the chemical stockpiles. I can provide the incendiaries. Unfortunately, no team is available.
I wouldn't worry. It can't get much worse than this.
You are, apologies, mistaken. These chemicals are known to cause at least 17 distinct illnesses. Between the structural instability, the toxicity levels, and the incendiary chemicals, the mission does carry substantial risk. It is nonetheless urgent. You are not a demolitions team, I fully recognize this. But if you could arrange the burn-off, I would humbly welcome your aid. I can smell chemicals on you, but I also smell fire and smoke. Did you complete the burn-off? All the toxins and pollutants have been incinerated?
Without a doubt.
Nothing could please me more. Thank you. The structure will still collapse, but it shall leave no poison in its wake. Perhaps we can rebuild the area after all.
Master Jedi, please, excuse my abruptness. The Republic told me you might be able to help with a difficult situation. They say you are a most reliable operative on Taris. Have you heard anything about titroxinate being sold on the black market?
What's titroxinate?
Titroxinate was the pre-patent name for the weaponized agent we think was responsible for the Rakghoul plague. The Empire could fashion it into a terrible weapon, turning our soldiers into monsters and setting them against us.
Where's the arms dealer who's selling this stuff?
I'm more worried about his source. Trace the original titroxinate samples to an old Chemworks factory. It's overrun with Nexu. We can't get near it. If you can retrieve any canisters that remain, the Republic will see you're well rewarded for your effort.
These are all the canisters I was able to recover.
Thank you. The Republic thanks you. Imagine how horrific it would be if the Rakghoul nightmare had spread to the rest of the galaxy. Please, take this for your service.